Howdy folks, welcome back to War Thunder once again with the mighty Jingles. This is patch 1.35. I'm recording this on the day that patch 1.35 comes out. You're probably not going to see it until a day or so after patch 1.35 comes out. As luck would have it, this is one of the busiest days of the week for me on a Thursday. I'm live streaming World of Tanks tonight with Quickie Baby. I just don't have time to get this video out on the day of the patch release. But I'm recording what I can before I go onto the live stream. That is one of the new aircraft. That is the Bf-109E1. Rank 5 German aircraft. There's always new aircraft introduced every time there's a major patch. This one is no exception. But before we look at some of the other aircraft that have been introduced, the first thing I want to take a look at is what should be immediately obvious the first time you'll log in with patch 1.35 coming out, and it's this button up here. Events. This is a very, very interesting new feature. Here it is, the current events screen. Note that it is actually current events. These events last for 24 hours. There is one for each difficulty mode. There's one for arcade battles, which right at the moment is the Battle of Britain. There's one for the Guadalcanal campaign, which is historical battles without respawns. And for you full real battle pilots, you've got the Siege of Malta. Now, the thing about these events that makes them different, aside from the fact that they only run for 24 hours, is that they're more what people were probably expecting historical battles to be. Because, well, first of all, they're based on real events, as the historical battles are. But whereas in historical battles you can basically fly whatever aircraft you like, in events they're limited only to the aircraft that actually flew in those engagements. So for the full real battle here, for example, Team A, British, are allowed Gladiators, Hurricanes, Beaufighters and Spitfires, but only specific models. And the Germans and Italians, the appropriate level of aircraft available to them too. Now, you see, if I have my German Air Force selected, they're all greyed out, or redded out, except for the MC-202, which is the only aircraft I have in this current German lineup, which is allowed to take part in this full real battle event. If I was to select my British Spitfire Mark 5C. Now, if I was to, this is a neat feature as well, if I wanted to change aircraft, my first aircraft slot, it only allows me to select the aircraft which take part in this event. So it's just full of nice little features like that. The Guadalcanal campaign, F4s, P40s, SBDs, TBFs, the Japanese, A6M2s, D3A1s, B5N2s, G4M1s and so on and so on. If you go to the arcade battle version, it's the Battle of Britain, and there's all sorts of aircraft available here. None of which I currently have selected. But for example, let's go on my Tempest slot. And there we go, Wellingtons, Spitfires, Hurricanes, Blenheim Bombers, Gladiators, Swordfish, all that good stuff there. So those are current events. You actually get a bonus for taking part in these, plus 15%. Credits for taking part in the arcade battle current event. Same for historical battles, same for the Siege of Malta. They have their own leaderboards, and you can see who's doing the best in the event for that day. And look at this guy here, FB Saeed. He's actually earned 957,000 lions flying this event, Siege of Malta, in full real battle mode. He's flown it 13 times. He's made nearly 1 million credits. Holy cow. So, that's events. New feature, patch 1.35. Now, new aircraft. And it wouldn't be a War Thunder patch if they weren't introducing new aircraft. Starting off with the Americans. The first thing you may notice is that the Kitty Hawk is now rank 5. They've replaced it at rank 4 with the P-36G. It's another Hawk. We have two existing Hawks, one at rank 2, one at rank 3. New one, P-36G at rank 4. It's armed with 250 cals and 4 7.62mm machine guns. The P-40E1, now rank 5 aircraft. And two new American jet fighters, continuing the trend of giving us slightly better armed American jets than we were used to previously. There's the existing F-86A5 with its 6 50 caliber M3 machine guns. Top speed of 1,050 kilometers per hour, and here are the two new rank 20 Sabres. The F-86 F-25, which seems to be pretty much similar, except that it has a better top speed and slightly less manoeuvrable, top speed of 1,118 kilometers per hour, and the F-86F2, which is the same as the F-25, except it has 4 20mm cannons. So those are the Americans. Moving on to the Germans get 2 new aircraft, one at rank 5, one at rank 10. The rank 5 is here, Bf-109E1. It's a machine gun armed Bf-109. It sort of makes sense. It's the equivalent of the Kitty Hawk, which is probably why the Kitty Hawk is now at rank 5 instead of rank 4. This thing has 4 7.92mm machine guns. In all other respects, it's broadly similar to the Bf-109E3. The second new German aircraft is probably going to be slightly more interesting. Although it's nice that the Germans are getting more Bf-109s down at the lower levels, so you're not reliant on flying your Italian fighters all the time. But the other new kid on the block is up here, the Focke-Wulf 190A5. And this is a rank 10 Focke-Wulf 190, and it has 2 machine guns and 4 20mm cannons. I can see this thing being the flavour of the month for a while. Note that the cannons are not all quite the same. 2 have only 120 rounds of ammunition, but 2 of them have 500 rounds of ammunition. So that's going to be an interesting one to fly. Moving on to the Russians get several new aircraft, starting off over here with the B-25J-30. It's a premium version of the B-25 Mitchell American medium bomber. This is a Lend-Lease Russian version. This one will set you back 1450 Eagles. It sits there at rank 9. At rank 11, the Russians get a new Yak, the Yak-3P, armed with 3 20mm cannons with different ammunition loadouts, and it's bright red, so that one shouldn't be too difficult to recognise. Interesting default camo there. 2 new LAs. We have an LA-5 at rank 7, bog standard LA-5, 2 20mm cannons, and the LA-5F at rank 8, which has 2 20mm cannons. The Russians also get 1 brand new MiG-15, which you have to buy before you get the existing MiG-15. So I can't really tell the difference between the two of them. They appear to be exactly the same. The only difference in the tooltip is one's got a slightly different name, and the weapons are listed in a different order. Other than that, the stats appear to be exactly the same. Except one just costs more than the other. Oh well, go figure that one out. Moving on to the British. The British get some new aircraft, but they're not at the top tiers. There's a bunch of new Spitfires, which is, always welcome. So there's a new Spitfire at tier 5, one at tier 10 and one at tier 13. There it is, there's the new tier 5 Spitfire, the Mark IIA. 8 7.7mm Browning machine guns. It's just a new Spitfire. They seem to be doing this quite a lot, sticking new aircraft in around about the rank 4 or 5 area, just to give you a bit more variation in your flight lineup. The rank 10 is a new Mark 9. There it is, the Spitfire F Mark 10. 4 7.7mm machine guns and the 2 20mm Hispano cannons. It's quite fast actually, 637 kilometers per hour. And the new rank 13 is the Spitfire LF Mark 9. Right there. And again, same armament. Just a little faster, a little bit more agile. So that's the British. The Japanese, the premium Japanese Focke-Wulf, the captured or Lend-Lease or whatever you want to call it, Japanese Focke-Wulf has been changed. It's now rank 11. It's costing you 1,750 gold, but it's been changed to basically be the same as the new rank 10 German Focke-Wulf. It has the 4 cannons and the 2 machine guns. There's also a new premium Ki-96, which sits here, heavy fighter, 2 20mm cannons and a 37mm cannon. That's rank 10, 1,600 lines. This is the one that's probably going to provoke a lot of tears. The Ki-102 Otsu heavy fighter, armed with one 57mm cannon with 16 rounds of ammunition. And 2 20mm cannons and a 50 caliber machine gun in the rear turret. So that one's going to be fun. I think there's going to be lots of crying on the forums about that thing. Another new feature, and I've been wishing they would put this in for ages, is the ability to preview the skins that are available for your aircraft. There's my premium Mustang Mark 1A and the Princess Elizabeth skin. But if, for example, because this was just annoying and frustrating. You pretty much had to go and Google the skins that were available for the aircraft to see what they were going to look like. Here they are. You can see the default summer camouflage for my Mustang. That's what it comes with by default. The Joan camouflage, which I unlocked some time ago. Very nice, I'm sure you'll agree. And the Princess Elizabeth camouflage, which I paid for. I actually unlocked this one with Golden Eagles. Now, I knew what the Princess Elizabeth camo looked like because I've actually seen the Princess Elizabeth at Duxford. Beautiful aircraft. But prior to patch 1.35, you had no idea what these other unlockables looked like until you went ahead and either unlocked them or paid for them. But now, you can click on it and it gives you a preview. And if you decide, oh, I like the look of that, you can pay for it down here. So let's have a look. There's an alternative Princess Elizabeth camo without the Normandy invasion markings. 14th Squadron, Royal Canadian Air Force. And the B camouflage, whatever the hell that is. It looks very American. There you go. So yeah, that's an interesting new feature, and well overdue, because otherwise it was just, you didn't have a clue what you were going to buy until it was too late and you bought it. And if you decided that after you'd fronted up the 200 Golden Eagles for the new skin that you didn't actually like the look of it, well, you were stuffed. You couldn't get your money back. So that's a feature that should have been in when they introduced unlocking skins with gold, but they've finally gotten around to doing it in patch 1.35, so that's good. So then I thought to myself, well, you know what, looking around at all this new stuff in the research tree in the hangar is all well and good, but let's see how things actually work. Let's try these new events. And obviously, I'm never going to have a go at the full real battle one. I can't even get into full real battles until I've done the full real battle tutorial, and I've never successfully managed to do the full real battle tutorial because I suck. So I thought I'd have a blast at the arcade and historical battle, Battle of Britain and Guadalcanal. So the first one up was arcade. And the arcade event is very, very arcadey. You can have aircraft of both nations on the same team, and it's the usual toxic mess of team killing and ramming and everything we've come to know and love about arcade, particularly when I get spotted and, oh look, it's Jingles. And, yeah. Can you see how many of them are on me? You see that? So I just gave up. So screw arcade. Had 4 or 5 goes at it, and it was as bad as this every time. So I thought, screw it. Historical. Let's give that one a shot. Now, I think this is actually the first time I've flown the Guadalcanal historical battle, and the first thing that became apparent is you have to take off from carriers if you're playing as the Japanese, and yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. That's what happened during the actual battle itself. And taking off from carriers is no problem. It's the landing on the carriers again that I have trouble with. I don't think I've ever successfully managed to actually land an aircraft on a carrier. I've managed to crash aircraft in carriers. Oh, yeah, all the time. There's all sorts of jingle-shaped holes in the back of Japanese carriers, but I don't think I've ever actually managed to land one. So this is going to be problematic when it comes to landing to rearm. Another thing you'll note is there are no aircraft icons for the enemy team in historical anymore, so you have no idea what you're flying up against. Not so much in the event. You know that the Americans are limited to F4Fs, P40s, SBDs and TBFs, but you can't see the mix of the aircraft that are available anymore. I mean, I could never tell anyway because I couldn't recognise the icons, but a lot of people could. So there's that. And again, this is historical. There are no reloads in mid-air. You have to land and rearm and repair. On a carrier. So I think I'm probably going to have to make the best possible use of my ammunition loadout, because I don't fancy my chances of being able to pull off a carrier landing. So anyway, here we go. Wartime emergency power. Hammer that throttle. Let's climb up to some altitude and go looking for F4Fs and Kitty Hawks. Now I figure since this is a ground strike map, if I loiter over the ground targets I should have lots and lots and lots of juicy dive bombers to take out. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how well it works. Did anyone bring a pack of cards? This is one of the things that turns people off from playing historical battles. The length of time it takes you to actually get started. That's never going to change, unfortunately. If you see that as a massive negative drawback, you should probably stick to arcade battles. I don't mind it so much, but certainly the first couple of times you play historical battles, you are going to find that you spend an awful long time flying to where you just immediately get shot down. And, it's a long time to spend doing nothing and gaining nothing, but it's going to be worth it as you get better at it. You'll find that you are the one doing the shooting down, not the one getting shot down. Well, that's the theory anyway. And I'm still learning. But I do love my zeros. So we'll see how we go. We'll just skip ahead to where we actually first spot an enemy fighter, because watching me fly through the clouds isn't going to be particularly interesting. It is very pretty though, isn't it? This is an astonishingly good looking game. And oh, there we go, contact. It's a P-40. He's a fair distance away, but he's close enough that he could become a problem, so I've got to keep an eye on him. There's another one. I don't particularly want to give up my altitude advantage here. But if there's nothing up here for me to shoot at, I'm probably going to have to. 2 Kitty Hawks spotted so far. It seems like I'm the only one actually flying around here at this kind of altitude. Yep, keeping an eye on what's going on. Looks like our guys are working over the ground targets. There's another one. Everything seems to be going on down there rather than up here. Alright. Oh, there's a Kitty Hawk at my altitude. But I don't really want to get into a head-on with him. So I'm going to go down to these guys where I have some wingman support. Be very, very careful when you're doing a steep dive like this, especially when you start pulling turns. You can rip your wings right off. And there we go, he's overshot me. Now, is he going to try to dogfight with a zero? No, he's not. He's not stupid. Unfortunately for him, I'm faster than him too. Oh, he's all kinds of trouble. Pull up, loop over, wing over back on him, turn that speed into altitude, turn that altitude back into speed. I will be able to catch him. And he's not stupid, he's trying to lead me back towards his anti-aircraft guns. He's not trying to dogfight with me, but he's dead anyway. Right, I built up a lot of speed here, so I'm going to climb again. A couple of P-40s over there, and I'm starting to take fire from flak. Now, flak is dangerous when you're at altitude. You can stay relatively safe from flak by dropping to below 100 feet, but I don't like fighting in historical at that kind of low altitude, because you run out of options. But there's a friendly going for one of those Kitty Hawks, which means this guy is out of friends. Now he's probably going to try to stay near. I mean, look at all this anti-aircraft fire coming up. This is not an ideal situation, but well, we're here to shoot down Americans. Yeah, missed him. Climb, wing over. Where is he? There he is. Is he going to try to dogfight with me? Or is he just going to try to get me shot down by the flak? Oh, speaking of the flak, it's a Wildcat, not a Kitty Hawk. My mistake. Oh, I've hit him. And I've got him! Good stuff. My cannons are out, I'm down to machine guns, and Oh, that's a lot of flak. And there's a Kitty Hawk on me as well. I can take him out. I still have machine gun ammo, but the flak is going to be the problem. Ah, and I'm hit again. Come on. I'm losing control of the aircraft now. The flak's nearly hit him. Ah, that's it. I'm done. Tail controls are completely gone. And that was all the flak. And I'm in the drink. Ah, shot down by a destroyer. But that was alright. It's 2 kills and a couple of hits on a third aircraft. I'm certainly not complaining about that result. That was one of my better historical battle performances. So from here on in, I'm a spectator. This Avenger looks like he's in all sorts of trouble. Oh, there's some shots coming in from the right of the Zero. Somebody's on his tail, and he's noticed roughly the same time I did. He's getting out of there. It looks like the Zero's out of ammo anyway. And yeah, that Wildcat's got problems of his own. So this Zero pilot's going to live to fly another day. Doesn't look like the other 2 Zeros are really chasing the kill on that Wildcat either. Other 3 Zeros. And this looks like it's going to be a comfortable win for the Japanese. Oh, check this out. A6N2N. It's the float plane version of the Zero. He can very, very easily land and rearm on this map because he can land on the water. And all you have to do is bring this aircraft to a halt near a carrier, and you get refueled, rearmed, and repaired. Unlike that poor sucker over there, who actually has to try and land it. I don't know, it looks like he's coming in a bit fast. Yeah, he's bounced. He's opened the throttle again, and he's going around it. Take him round again, class leader. Meanwhile, our man here in the float plane Zero is just laughing his ass off at him. Let's have a closer look at this fella. And I shouldn't be laughing because I have never managed to successfully land on a carrier myself. Let's see how this guy's doing. I don't know, he seems to be going a bit fast. And he's far too high. I mean, I'm a complete carrier landing noob, but even I can tell that. Oh, and he knows he's too high, so he goes into a dive, but then he's going too fast. He's got to know he's never going to pull this off. It's far too fast. And he's bounced again. Well, you know, at least it didn't crash it, which is what I would have probably done. So, you know, what else is going on? I'm seeing lots and lots and lots of Zeros still in the air. I'm not seeing lots and lots of Avengers and Dauntlesses and Kitty Hawks and Wildcats. Looks like a man in the float plane has just finished reloading. And he's off. Meanwhile, third time lucky, he's coming around for another attempt at a landing. That's more like it. Lots of gentle turns to bleed off speed and altitude, rather than just nosediving. I don't know, this one's looking more promising. I mean, I'm no expert. This one doesn't look too bad. He seems a little fast, but he might. Oh, and he's bounced again. You know what? He's at least he hasn't left a jingle-shaped hole in the deck of the carrier, which is what I would have probably done on my third. I would never have lived to make a third attempt. I should probably really have some more practice at doing that, because if I'm going to be playing historical battles a lot, I'm going to have to land on carriers at some stage. I mean, I've seen people land aircraft on destroyers. Krebs has done it. Couldn't take off again, obviously, but he's managed to land on a destroyer. I've seen him land bombers on carriers. So I really have no excuse for not being able to do it. Come on then. Fourth time lucky. No, game over. Never mind. Perhaps next time. So I must say I do like these new events. Not so much in arcade. It doesn't really add anything new to arcade. It's just the same mess of aircraft on both sides. But certainly in historical and probably full real as well, where you're limited to the correct sides with the correct aircraft. Yeah, I think it's a very, very nice new addition to the game, and that's one of the better ones I ever flew. 2 kills, finished second on the team. Inconceivable. Who are you? What have you done with the real Jingles? Oh, and there's an unlock for my new Spitfire from a previous game. Yeah, second on the team, joint top kills, fighter award. Woohoo, check me out. So, yeah, there we go. Events. Putting the historical back in historical battles. Another new feature in patch 1.35, which is of particular benefit to people who play full real battles and historical battles as opposed to arcade, is unlocking skins for your aircraft. Here's the list of the skins that are unlockable for the Americans. And you can see here the B-25J1, United States Army Air Force camo. I haven't unlocked yet. To do that, you need to knock out 250 ground targets. Now, they changed this a couple of patches back. They vastly increased the number of kills or targets knocked out that you had to get to unlock these skins. And it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but it wasn't that much of a problem for people flying arcade battles because you rack up monster amounts of kills in arcade battles if you're any good. If you're flying historical battles or full real battles, this was just a mountain that you had to climb. For a start in historical battles, there aren't that many aircraft flying on each side. There are no respawns. If somebody's got 6 aircraft in his lineup, you can shoot them down 6 times. You can only shoot somebody down once in historical or full real battles, and it's harder to do because it's more realistic flight controls, correspondingly so in full real battles. So you'll see, for example here, the P-63A, the camo skin for that, you have to shoot down 150 players in arcade. A kill in historical gets a ×3 multiplier, so that's worth 3 kills. A kill in full real battle gets a ×6 multiplier, so that's good news for people who are trying to unlock skins who only play historical or full real. Another new feature is the introduction of titles. I'm trying to remember where to find this. Oh, it's under achievements. Here we go. There you go. There's a brand new tab on your achievements panel. Pilot, shoot down 100 players. And again, the multiplier also applies here. Double for historical, ×4 for full real. Fighter, what do you have to do there? 5,000 players shot down. Holy cow. Ace, 10,000 players shot down. God of War, 100,000 players shot down. And none of this is retrospective, okay? As of patch 1.35, you're starting this from scratch, so it doesn't matter how many kills you already have, this is a new thing. I already have one of these. Where is it? Oh, I've always got Disguise Expert. Skins earned, 94 of 100. Well, that's a bit deceptive. Skins earned? No. Skins bought also counts for this one. But there you go. There's the through Fine Art Expert. Decals earned. Oh, right. I didn't even realise I had that one. This is the one I knew I had. Elite Commander. Reward title, Elite Commander. Have an Elite Squadron. That's basically just a title that you get for throwing sufficient amounts of money at the game. Where are these titles? There you go. On your profile. Pick the one that you want. I've got Fine Art Expert, Elite Commander. Hooray. I've gone for Elite Commander because it sounds impressive, even though it really, really isn't. So, but another new feature, titles. I'm not quite sure where they show up. Possibly they appear under your name when you're flying. I really don't know. But it's another new thing that's in the game. It's just another new feature. It's nice stuff. And of course, as with any patch, there are a whole bunch of fixes to the flight models, changes to the weapon loadouts of various aircraft. The Illusion 2M Sturmovik, for example, no longer carries 1,000 rounds of ammunition. It's been fixed to the more accurate 450. The port map now actually has somewhere where you can land for both teams. All sorts of minor fixes and changes to the existing maps that are already in the game. Here's something else that, well, if it's not new, it's something that I certainly haven't noticed before. It's the vast range of customization that is available for, as the name would suggest, custom battles. Here's the list of custom battles that are available in the game. Domination. Here we go. Domination Krimsk. It's not a map you see too often unless you play low levels. Now, the difficulty level. You have your presets, arcade, historical, or full real. But custom allows you to change just about every single parameter of the game. Be okay, you get to the next screen and you can change just about everything in the game. You can make your pilots invincible. So you'll never lose your aircraft to a pilot kill. Right? Pilots can't be killed, so if you want to shoot somebody down, you have to actually destroy the aircraft, for example. Engine control. Choose whether you want arcade, historical, or full real settings. Realistic gunnery? Yes, no. The damage model. Is the aircraft able to stall? Do you have to land at an airfield or a carrier in order to rearm, or can you just rearm in the air, and so on and so on? Massive range of control over how you want to play your battles. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other new stuff that's in patch 1.35. There's remodeled cockpits for a vast range of aircraft. Changes to the damage models, particularly for the Beaufighter and the Tu-2. They're going to be a lot easier to shoot down from now on. Changes to the flight models. Just the usual sort of thing that you expect to see in a major patch in War Thunder. And overall, I actually quite like patch 1.35. Just the introduction of the events alone, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. I like the idea of flying a historical battle where they're only allowed to have the aircraft that actually took part in that campaign. Obviously, the arcade side of things, well, it's still very arcadey. Yes, it's the Battle of Britain, for example, the current arcade event. And yes, it's only the aircraft that flew in the Battle of Britain, but you can have them both on the same side. So arcade's still arcade, but historical looks really good. Full real looks really good. So if that was the only thing that introduced in patch 1.35, I would have given it a thumbs up. But there's so much more, and it's been fun playing. More so in not full real. I've still never flown a full real battle, and I'm unlikely ever to. I'm just not good enough. But certainly for me so far, more so in historical, as you saw in the Operation Guadalcanal section in this very video. I have tried to have a go at the Battle of Britain event in arcade, but it's the usual toxic mess of, it's arcade. You can have fun in arcade, and I'm sure a lot of people do have fun in arcade, but I'm just finding it increasingly frustrating. Historical was a good laugh. So anyway, there you go, patch 1.35. Get in there, get it played. It's good stuff. I like the way War Thunder's going. I'm very happy with what they've done in patch 1.35. I certainly hope you will be too. As always, folks, watch your six. I'll catch you next time.